Sorry, I just wanted to hit that button before you started.
Yeah, all good.
So just introduce yourself real fast, just like a quick, this is who I am, just for the newer people. We had a lot of new people come on this time. And maybe just go over the benefits,
Stop, clean
a
up.
rewards thing for people that are trying to get the customers to get rewards, like how that works.
Okay.
And then for anybody that has any questions, please put your questions in the chat box. I'm going to mute everybody.
Also,
Really
Brooke, we also wanted to find out, can rewards be used just purposely for all of Scentsy or just Scentsy Club? So that was another one.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to mute everyone, and then you're just in charge.
Great. Well, first of all, so my name is Michael Borg, and I work at home office at Scentsy. I work for Lacey Hansen, and she is terrible, like absolutely terrible. No, she's not. She is so fun to work with. Oh my goodness. Like, anyway, so work for Lacey, and my partner in crime is Carrie Bryant. So we jointly kind of run Future Products, and Carrie works on body clean, laundry, pets, home, scent, like all those. And I focus on Scentsy Club and licensing. So all the Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, all those things. And Scentsy Club is likely going to move over soon to somebody else, but I was kind of the one that kind of kicked it all off and everything. And so I was pretty excited that I could come in and be the one to share this stuff with you. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it. My background is I worked for Hewlett Packard, a small printer company. You might have heard of them. Worked for them for 25 years, and I was their toner boy. So I was the strategist for all things toner. That's about a $10 billion company, not company, but business. So that was kind of fun. But I kept having to deal with people that looked like me, and it just wasn't as fun. And so when I got recruited and went to Scentsy, and I started working with consultants, I'm like, this is the best job ever. So I am very grateful to come work for Scentsy and just kind of work with all of you guys. So if you ever have any questions or anything, just never hesitate to call me. So the history of Scentsy Club, we started off and we did both customer loyalty, and that was on random bars as far as I could tell, that we had on the website that you could purchase them monthly. Like, add this to your monthly subscription. And we had about 200 people total that did that. So that was customer loyalty. And then there was also the VIP program. And the VIP program was, I think it was about $65. And you got a set amount of stuff. Like, we would say it's laundry. You get like the laundry love, basically, and you get to pick the fragrance. But you don't get the discount that's in the catalog. And then the other one was the oils, the diffuser oils. And we'll pick 5 of them, and you get to pick another 2, kind of thing. And we had about 1,100 people on that subscription when we started Scentsy Club. And so we started Scentsy Club. We were like, we're going to do it right. We're going to make it all consumables. So the fun thing about Club is it is all consumables. And it is really, truly, every catalog consumable is in there. And I don't care whether it's in home or scent or body, clean, whatever it is. So you can get it if it's in catalog and it's a consumable, you can get it. And then we also wanted to make sure there was a good hook in there. And that's where the Always Get My Bar came in. And so Always Get My Bar, it is basically all wax. So if it comes out as a brick, doesn't matter. You can add a bar of that same fragrance to Scentsy Club, and you can get it forever. As long as it's on your subscription, you don't skip it. It can be in there, and we'll always make it just for you. And as soon as we did kind of put Scentsy Club together, we went to, I think, 10,000 subscriptions in like 2 months. And right now we're at about 148,000 people in Scentsy Club. So it's huge. And so all consultants should at least try it out, get a credit card, sign up for it, and just skip it or whatever, but just figure out what it is, because we've got a lot of consultants that their business is just, they have hundreds of clubs, and it's great. And so people find it very compelling. And what typically happens in club is they will get the bars. So they're like, oh my goodness, Stitch, man, I have got to have Stitch fragrance. And so regardless, that's what's going to build my subscription, because that's the only way I can get it forever. So I want Stitch, so I'm going to get it. And that's like, I need what, 6 bars every month. Well, I can't just have that on my subscription. That would be irresponsible of me. I might as well put like some body in there, some laundry. The laundry is very popular in there as well. And so they fill out their subscription, but it really is around those bars. Now, the other thing that we've seen is that they sometimes build it around their whiff box as well. It's a very convenient way to have whiff box, and it just shows up every month or every 2 months. So that's it. Scentsy Club right now is 75% customers. So some people think, oh yeah, it's only consultants. No, it is 75% customers, and that is consistent ever since we launched it. Of the bars, so just about every single subscription has bars in them. And of the bars in Scentsy Club, on those 148,000 subscriptions, 65% of the bars are discontinued bars. 65%. In other words, all that money and all that commitment, all that passion would have gone away. And they would, and I can't tell you how many customers, they were so ticked off. And I heard from consultants all the time, like, you're discontinuing my favorite scent. Like, I hate you. I'll never be back, all those things. And now, whenever something like that happens, you can say, hey, what would you say if I told you can get that bar forever? Like, we'll never discontinue it. You just put it on your Scentsy Club. And if you get $30 worth of stuff, you're 10% off automatic every month, not just in the transition months, but every month. And if you get over $60, then you unlock a half price item. And so you can get that, the air purifier filter. You can get that for like $14, that filter. You also can go out there and get a whiff box for $15. It's the only place you can get it discounted, and you can get it for half price. And so it's a great value. And so a lot of people go in and do that. The other thing I will say is that whiff box is the crown jewel and a very good sales tactic for every single consultant if they have people in club. And the reason is because the vast majority of clubs were every 3 months. Right? They don't have enough to make it every single month. And then we came out with whiff box, and they're like, well, how do I get one every month? Well, you put it on your subscription for every month. And so then they adjusted the rest of their club to be every single month. And so if you have a lot of customers in club and they are every 3 months or every 2 months, if you get them signed up to put the whiff box on there for half price, now, all of a sudden, their club is coming every month, because that's the only way to get it. And that's been a very good tactic for consultants to get a much higher PRV, because then they're like, well, okay, then I'm going to have to do my laundry on there. I'm going to have to do that. And so they fill it up. So that's a really good one as well. And I will tell you that as far as the people in club, 42% of them have a whiff box. So almost half, which is a big deal. I will tell you that of the whiff boxes sold from Scentsy, 80% of them are in club. So also very good. Now, when we start to see times where, our sales start to drop a little bit, guess what's happening in club? The same. It's not dropping. So it's the same thing that you'll find. Like, how many of you have cable, right? The internet. How long would you have cable if you had to remember to go out there and pay it every single month? No, you wouldn't do it. And so with Scentsy Club, you go out there, and it is one of those items that once you get the commitment and you sign up for it, then if times get tough, a lot of times you're looking at those things that you're buying, but not the monthlies, which I will tell you from a financial standpoint, the monthlies are the ones you have to worry about. That aside, most people don't think that way. And so they go out and they keep their Scentsy Club. And so your PRV stays consistent and you get all that coming to you. Okay, so that's generally like the overall kind of fun stuff with Scentsy Club. But I'm going to share a lot of stuff on what is Scentsy Club 2.0. And I'm going to first answer the question before I forget. So the question was, if I get points where a customer is underneath me, they're in their club, they got all these points, can they use those points for just Scentsy Club, or can those points be used on my PWS for everything? And so the answer is, for the most part, everything. But there are a couple of things that you cannot use points on. So licensed products, if you go out, you cannot use them on licensed products. And the reason that is there is because of all the royalties and stuff like that. It's just a nightmare to try and figure out all those things. However, if you have licensed bars in your club, they can be discounted with those points. Now that seems like a weird thing, and I have an OCD brain, and so it's one of those things like, why would you be able to use it over there and not over there? You're telling me the two different things, and it's driving me nuts. And the reason is because people have a lot of licensed stuff in their clubs as well. And so I got special permission to use that within club. So it goes a little bit deeper. It's one of those reasons. Another reason, well, I've got all these points and I only like licensed stuff. Okay, then put it in your club and then it can be used for that. But what we didn't want is, like, if somebody's like, okay, I'm going to apply it to my club and I only have licensed stuff and it's not using any of the points, people are like, what's going on? So just as a convenience and a good way of doing it, but customers, they can use it on warmers, buddies, just all kinds of other products on your PWS. Another question that people ask me is, why is it that there's a cap on the discount? If I get enough points for 90% off, why is it that you made the cap on the per purchase at 50% off if I use it on the consultant's website? And that's a strategy conversation, and here's why. We wanted to protect your PRV. So if somebody has a ton of points, I'm going to use those points. If they can be used on stuff to discount it as much as that, I'm using it. But if you got a lot of points and they could go all the way to 0, then they would use that and you'd get 0 PRV, right? Because it's like host rewards where, I can't give host credit in that PRV on any amount that I'm giving in free, right, on the discount. So on a 50%, for example, you're going to get PRV on 50% of that purchase. And so you'll always get that. And then if they still have points, they're like, okay, now I need to get another warmer. And you get at least 2 halves of that PRV and not just 0 PRV because of all those points. And so we did that on purpose to protect your PRV. And customers, they're going to use those points. And so that's why we did that way. Okay, our points just loaded to their email account. Then there's an alert checkout. So you have to go into club and say, use my points, and then it will go out. There's 2 ways, actually. If you go into club and you go into that section, it's like, there's a little checkbox that says, use my points on future Scentsy Club purchases. And that's really easy, and it fits in with the whole, set it and forget it. And I'm just keep going, right? But if they want to save up for warmers, and you can't get warmers because they're not consumables, then you would save up those points. You wouldn't check that. And then once they get a bunch of points, they can either go into club and say, shop with these, and then it takes them to the PWS just for you. Now, this does not come to anybody else's, another consultant's website either. This is just on your website. Now, a caution is, what if my PWS lapses? And I didn't pay my bill. Well, then it goes to CWS. So the customer doesn't wait, now I can't use my points. Then they'd be mad at you, and we didn't want that. And so what happens is it goes to CWS. And then if you're like, oh, dang it, sign back up for my PWS, pay for it, then those will continue to come into you. But we couldn't disrupt the customer for that. So let's say your PWS is active. You can also go out, shop, and then once you get into checkout, you log in, and then there's a thing there that said, use my points. And you just click on it, and it's like, you can use this many points on these purchases. And it does the math. If there's some licensed stuff and some non-licensed stuff, then it's like, okay, you can use this many points and you're good there. Okay, so we'll go through a bunch of this stuff. Share screen. Oh, could you enable sharing of screens? I think it's in the security section at the very bottom. There's participants, chat, all those things, and it might be security. Okay. Share screen. Yes. Good job. Okay, share. And then I'm going to make this large. Hopefully this works. Okay. There you go. Okay. So Scentsy Club 2.0, and I have tried to make this really, really easy. We'll see if it works. And the way that I've tried to make it easy is I kind of go out there and I tell you something, and then I answer it, and then I show you graphically. So hopefully that makes it really, really easy. So ground rules to start with. So this does look a little bit complex, but overall the basic principles are really simple. And you have a lot of clubs today, and if you have those today, they're going to stay at the 25% commission. This was one of the biggest questions that we got was, oh, you're going to take half my PRV on all these things, or down to 15% PRV on the stuff that I've already done. So no, all the subscriptions you have today stay at 25%. And all subscriptions that you personally go out and get, and they go into your PWS and they sign up for Scentsy Club, those are still at 25%. What we're adding is these loyalty points that we talked a little bit about for the customers as a new reward. And then we're also giving them a link that they can share to their friends and family. And that's how they earn ongoing points, is through that. And consultants don't get points. They get the PRV and the commission. And then you get PRV on everything that comes in. Okay. So for example, before we did Scentsy Club 2.0, what happened to Scentsy Club orders when a consultant canceled? Well, they all rolled up to the next person in their line at 25% commission. So in other words, and I have to set this up a little bit, and it's a little bit weird. I'm the licensing guy, and so I had to try and figure out what's a good way to kind of make this fun. So from now on in this presentation, consultants are Avengers. Okay, so if you see an Avenger, Black Widow, Captain America, or Hulk, they're consultants. And these logos are Scentsy Clubs. And what I'll show you later on is buddies are affiliates, or those people that go out and share those links. So what happens then, you got Captain America, and he's got two people in his downline, and one's Hulk and one's Black Widow. So what happens if Hulk cancels? What happens to those clubs? Well, they all roll up at 25% to Captain America. Okay. So that's what happens today. So the big question is, okay, what happens in 2.0? But let's go through something else really quickly. So what changed from a customer perspective? We're just adding the rewards and referrals, and there's loyalty rewards, which is for every customer if they just have a club and they buy stuff. And then there's referral rewards, which are I go out and I share that obnoxious link. Not obnoxious. I shouldn't have said that. And it's even being recorded. So there. So it's just the same things that are in catalog today, like with all the 30, the 60, you can get a brick. I mean, all those things, always get my bar. Everything else is the same, except for we've added rewards and referrals. So then what happens when my customer brings me friends and family via that amazing link? Well, you get more Scentsy Club orders and more PRV. Those ones that came in via the link that they shared and they signed people up, those are going to come in at 15%. And the reason they come in at 15% is I have to somehow reward those people who go out and work on your behalf. It's almost like host rewards, right? And so that enables
I was
us
trying to email a different way.
I think somebody's not on mute. Let me see if I can mute them. Nope, I can't. Okay. So in other words, if we started looking at this and we talked about Hulk and he went away and what, those things. So what happens if Iron Man comes in and he's got a bunch of club people with club underneath them, and two of those people, the ones outlined in red, go out and share the link? Well, now they're buddies because they have successfully shared the link and brought you people with club. So what happens is Minnie and Tigger, their clubs are still 25% that come into you. Stitch and the three people that he brought in, and Jack Skillington and the two people he brought in, and all those others, right? Those are going to come in at 15%. And that's the commission on those because they're brought in via that link. Because that area where it's 15%, I have to incent these guys somehow. And that's kind of the host rewards part of this. That's the ongoing points that they get for going out and sharing that link. Okay. So what visibility will consultants and customers have to this referral customer tree and rewards and points? So consultants will have 100% visibility. Customers will only have visibility and get rewarded on those things in their direct line, the people they brought in. So I know how much money I spent, and I get $1 for every 1 point, or 1 point for every dollar I spend. And then I go out and I share those. And for everybody that signs up underneath me, I have visibility to that. And I get 2 points for every dollar that they bring in or that they spend. And so those points can be used on their own personal club, like we talked about, or on your PWS. And the worth of them is 25 to 1, or if you earn 25 points, it equals $1 of discounts. So if you buy a Scent Circle and you wanted it like half price, it's like roughly 50 points or something like that. Okay. So now let's look at this graphically. So what visibility will the consultant have to all these points and how many people are underneath them? They have 100% visibility. What about Stitch? Stitch only sees that he brought in 3 people. He has no visibility what's above him, no visibility underneath. So in other words, what about Tigger? Tigger only sees that he brought in 3 people and they have clubs. He doesn't realize that Jack Skellington, one of the people he brought in, has 2 people underneath them or anything like that. That's just the visibility that Tigger has, is those 3 people. He'll get points on them, and so he totally gets that part, right? And those reward points can be used to discount their own personal club subscription in that auto apply click, or they can be saved up to spend on your PWS. And so again, it's 50% off in that 25% ratio. Okay, so now what happens to club orders when a consultant cancels? So just like it did before with Hulk, all club orders roll up at 25% commission. And the referral customer network also rolls up. So let's look at this again. So what happens if Iron Man, first of all, if Iron Man cancels, he is loony. Why in the world would you cancel if you have 3, 6, 7, like 20 clubs underneath you? Like you're killing it. But anyway, what happens if they lose their mind and they get really ticked off at Iron Man or something? I don't know. She doesn't appreciate me or something like that. I don't know, right? So if Iron Man cancels, all those roll up. So these were 25%, Minnie, Tigger, and the other 5. Those were 25%, they stay 25%. Now I still need to reward these people down here, so those still stay at 15%, but now they roll up to Iron Man. So what if a customer with referrals cancels their personal club? There is an absence of those reward points that I talked about. I needed to keep those at 15% because I needed to reward people. And therefore, the front line rolls up at 25%. And then that customer referral network also rolls up as well. So let's look at this graphically. So you've got Tigger and then Eeyore, and Eeyore signed up one person, Dumbo. Oh, bother. And then Dumbo is kind of killing it. He's bringing in 3. What happens if Eeyore, what happens to Eeyore if Dumbo cancels? Well, this is where a lot of that visibility comes into play, because all those roll up to the consultant, Iron Man, at 25%, because I now no longer have to pay that person for these clubs. So again, the reason that I have to keep these at 15% is to keep, pay the host rewards. Well, what happens to parties if the host doesn't show up? Right? So that's kind of how this works, is we are very much signed up for the consultants. And so these do not roll up to Eeyore. Eeyore didn't go out and find these people. So those roll up to the consultant. So Eeyore, all he knows is I signed up one person and they left. Oh, bother. Right? And then those roll up. Okay. What if a referred customer becomes a consultant? So it really depends on where they become a consultant. If it's under their present consultant, their referral customers stay with them. If it's under a different consultant, only their personal club goes with them, like it does today. If I'm a consultant and I go sign up under somebody, can I keep my club? Yes. I'm not going to always get my bars. I can go wherever I want and I get to keep my club, right? I don't make them cancel that. Now the consultant now gets the PRV and commission, but no longer accumulates. Let's see, I got to move this. Accumulates points because again, now they're a consultant. So this works a lot better graphically. So let me show you graphically. So in other words, what happens if Stitch, who is in that referral network under Minnie, who's under Iron Man, what happens if Stitch becomes a consultant? And the answer is, first of all, Stitch becomes an Avenger. We've talked about this. And Stitch would be a cool Avenger. So, and by the way, if Disney saw this, they would kick my hiney. They would like, what are you doing? Anyway, but yeah, if they saw this and they found out it was me, they're like, I knew that guy, man. He just does whatever he wants. Okay, so first of all, yes, Stitch becomes an Avenger, and therefore these all report directly into him at 25%, and then everything underneath that is 15%. And Iron Man now is on their way to becoming a director, like having a director underneath them even, right? So that Iron Man now gets TWV, but Stitch is able to get the PRV on these clubs, right? And that's how this referral network grows. Okay, so, but what if Stitch, his mom is Black Widow, and she's like, you are going to become a consultant and you are going to join under me, and I'm mean. I can take you out and it's easy because it's Black Widow. So Black Widow somehow coerces Stitch into going to being a consultant under her. What happens? Well, Stitch, again, great Avenger, and knows exactly how to do this, but we're not going to pull all that PRV and that TWV away from Iron Man. Not going to happen. So Stitch becomes an Avenger, becomes a consultant, and can rebuild the network, but cannot get these people. So that's why Stitch should join under Iron Man, because then they get to keep all their Scentsy clubs. But again, we're trying to make sure that it is, I mean, we'll give them, you can do whatever you want, but boy, that's going to be a tough decision if you're Stitch. Okay, so let's keep going. What if Stitch then cancels as a consultant, but keeps their club? So in other words, right, this is all graphical. What if, again, we're back to Iron Man now. They've got all these things and Stitch cancels. The real question is, does Stitch continue to be an affiliate, goes back to the way it was before? And the answer is no. Stitch, just if they cancel, they can keep their own club, but all these roll up to the consultant. So once a club is 25%, it stays at 25%. Now, if somebody joins and they you know, the system's messed up or something, and we need to go through CS and everybody agrees, oh yeah, that was a mistake. Like that's one thing, but does Stitch get to keep those no matter what? If once they're a consultant? No. If they cancel as a consultant, then those roll up to Iron Man, because the rest of that business also rolls up to Iron Man. Okay. So when do I, as a consultant, approach club customers about being a consultant? Given this new model with 2.0 and all the points and the affiliates and all that stuff, when do I approach them to say, you should become an Avenger, a consultant? And really, you know, there's a report out there and it's available to give you that full visibility, but that's completely up to you as a consultant. We're not going to come in and send emails saying, oh, you should become a consultant because it's, you know, cost effective, all that stuff. That is totally up to you. This is your business. And I will tell you that some consultants have had great success, that as soon as somebody signs up for a club, affiliates or not, they've gone to them and said, you should become a consultant. Like if you love our products as much as you do and you want a club subscription, then trust me, you love it good enough to sell Scentsy. And they've had great success there. Others wait until they get successful and say, okay, as soon as they get one person or 4 people or whatever it is, but this is your business and we trust your judgment. However, I would say be bold, because everyone wants to hear that they would be good at something. So don't be shy about it. So can club subscriptions be moved between referral networks? And the answer is no. A customer would need to cancel their club and sign up with another affiliate. And all the Always Get My Bars and all those things would be lost. Will the links work across country? So if I'm a consultant in the US, can I sign up a friend in Canada? And the answer is no. Referral links will not work across countries. US referral network will consist of US friends and family. New Zealand will be New Zealand friends and family. That's kind of how it works. And if a customer moves from one country to another, then they would be able to start another club and start over, but they can keep their club subscription with any of those Always Get My Bars. Now, it's all the Always Get My Bars that existed or have been offered in that country. If I move to Mexico or something and those bars were never offered in Mexico, then I can't put them down there. So what happens if a consultant wants points and shares via that link? So it's like, I heard Michael Borg and he's trying to get me to where I can't earn points. You know what? I do what I want. I'm going to share that link. I'm going to find it and I'm going to wait and see if he can find me and make it a compliance issue. So there, you can do that. However, the system doesn't know that you're a consultant and they don't know that you brought them in and you are a consultant, and therefore all those are going to come in at 15% rather than 25%. So don't do that. You're just asking for less PRV. Like, yeah, you'll get points and compliance will eventually find you, which like is probably not going to be that big of a deal, but you're saying no to 10% PRV. It's actually a really bad financial decision. Now, there's also a lot of tax implications to this. It's in the T's and C's that you can't share links as a consultant. There's tons of training information out there. What we found is people are trying to do that just so they see, oh, I want to see how it works. And then somebody signs up underneath it and they're like, ah, dang it, I could have had a 25% club. So you can just send out the link to your PWS and that's your shareable link. So do it that way. And there's tons of tools out there to show you kind of how to link, an account to you and stuff like that. And then that automatically kind of moves those over. Okay. Yeah, so if Iron Man goes out and says, ha, so there, I'm going to have my club and I'm not going to link it and I'm going to share it, it's going to come in at 15% and they're going to feel kind of dumb in a nice, loving, respectful way. Okay, so where's all this visibility that Michael keeps talking about? So if you go into your workstation and you go under Scentsy and you go to account kind of thing, then you can kind of look at how to link your account. So if you go to account, it's like preferences, awards, and then there's Scentsy Club account link. And you can put in your email address that your club is under, and then the password, and it will automatically link that to you. And then you'll get that back at 25%. So that's a good thing. Okay. So how do I get access to a bunch of this visibility of points and stuff? So you go to orders, and then you go to Scentsy Club, and then you go to view Scentsy Club customers and referrals, and that will give you access to all of this stuff, right? And that's when you see all the points for each of the different customers, which ones are sharing, like all those things will be out there. What does the customer link look like to customers? So if they go into their Scentsy Club, and hopefully you all know what this looks like because you have a Scentsy Club. If not, shame on you, go get a Scentsy Club. But if you go in there and you say, learn more, then it comes up with this and it'll show you your available points, how many are expiring. This is that little box that if you want to click on it, it automatically applies it to your next club shipments. And then this is where your link is. So you can just copy it here, or you can click on copy link, and then it will say copied. Like it'll tell you, you did it. And then you can share that via text. You can share it via email, like however you want to share it. And then it will show you right here, like how many people the customer has signed up. So I just did it to myself, just to where I could show you. But that's kind of where, oh, look, Michael Borg came in underneath my club, and now I'm going to get double points for all his stuff. Okay, what else do I have visibility to within the workstation as a consultant? So we've tried to add a lot of stuff for you in Club. So if you kind of go to orders again, go to Club, then this is what shows up for you. You get all kinds of visibility here. And what it does is it shows you all your customers. And I just blacked them out because it's for an actual consultant. And then you can click on the view details. So it shows you all the Club PRV earned, how many subscribers you have, subscriptions this month, next month, stuff like that. But if you click on view details, then it actually goes out there and you can click on it, and now you can see their club. So you can see, oh, this person, Michael Borg, great guy, by the way. He's got a quarterly club, and this is how much he's spending. And it just kind of shows you how that all works. And then if you click on that and go into it, view those 13 items, you can see exactly what they've got in their club. And you can see, I'm a smart guy. I've got Stitch. I've got Jack's Obsession, which is one of the best fragrances ever. I like their body products. I get me some Blue Grotto. And yes, I even have half price Whip Box, which makes my wife very, very happy. Okay. So that's what we've got. Do you have any questions? I haven't been able to look at the chat. So you guys can come off mute, or you can type it in the chat thing. But I've roughly got 5 or 6 minutes that I can keep going. Any questions? Favorite color? Blue. Favorite consultant? All of you guys. I will tell you a fun, let's see, what's a good club story though? I have a bunch of, what's that?
What's the best way to tell our customers to use their points? Would you advise to use it towards their future club purchases, or would you say to use them online for a order?
I would tell them, go use it to buy other things, because just like anything else, that's where it's going to be addictive. Now, if they're like, I could tell you, my wife, like the reason she loves like Club and PWS is she doesn't talk to anybody. Like if you call her, she will not pick up. If you knock on the door, she will ignore you. If you text first, you got a 50-50 shot whether she'll let you in the house, right? So that's what she's like. And so it's like, no, I'm not going to do that. And so she loves this stuff because it's like, I don't have to talk to anybody. It just happens, done. And she's going to click that box that's like, just those, right? Just apply it. But other people, like once they start to get used to this and they start saying, I want to do it on PWS and I want to get a warmer and I want to get some buddies and I'm going to do this, then it gets addictive to them. And so that customer behavior of now I'm getting 2 points and I can see it and I'm managing it. All of a sudden, I'm starting to think like a consultant. And so for me, I would say, if they ask you what's the best way, I would say try it first where it's not apply, go out there and get those points, use them on the PWS, and just see all the things that you're doing. Because if you're signing people up, like you can become a consultant and you should be a consultant, like that kind of thing. So that's why I would do it that way. The other reason is that whole strategy of then they're going to get 50% off on like a bunch of stuff, and that's going to build in more PRV to you.
Okay, can I have one more question that applies to that kind of?
Yeah.
So I've had multiple clubbers that are mine that have tried to use their points, and when they added whatever they wanted to it to their cart, and when they went to check out, there was no points there for them to use, but there is points when they log in. So they've been checking the box to just apply to their Scentsy Club because their points aren't showing up on
Okay.
the other end.
I would love to get any examples like that, because what I can do is I can go in and look at their stuff and and find out what is going wrong, because that is something bad. And I know the IT guys that I can go over there and start slapping around to make sure that works.
Yeah, I told Gary Engel.
Yeah, Gary Engel.
Yeah, because he called me. So because he was wondering about Scentsy Club. So I had told him. So I didn't know if you had knew anything.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that. But yeah, I'll check in with Gary too to see if that was resolved.
Okay.
Yeah, we got to make sure it works.
Right, because we gotta promote this club.
That's right. What other questions?
Can you repeat what you said about OOC from earlier? I
Oh,
got
what's
half
out of
of it.
compliance? Oh, so let's say I'm a consultant. There's a couple things that can be out of compliance with club. So if I'm a if I'm a consultant and I have like 4 clubs, and I take those and I only link one of them because the link only works on one of them, and then I have those other 3 that I'm getting points. That's out of compliance now, because by definition, those are going to earn points. And if they're earning points, then I have to at some point declare all the taxes and stuff, right? So you as a consultant, you're going out, you're selling stuff, you need to be taxed on everything, because like everybody knows, taxes are the best thing in the world. So you're going to get taxed on that, but now you won't get taxed on those points because I can't tie them back to you. And so I know you're going to get a W-2 because you're a consultant, but those points aren't going to be there. And that's one of the reasons why that's out of compliance. Now, if you do have 4 clubs and you're like, yeah, but here's the deal, Michael Borg, I've got always get my bar on all of those and I'm not losing them. So I'm going to find out how to hide them from you. If you call consultant support and you say, I want to link all of these together, I want to take all the things on these and put it on this one login, then I've told them you can do that. And always get my bars will stay in there and everything. If you have more than one club login, you can call CS and you can link them all together to where you aren't going to lose anything. Because
That
before
would
you can do
include,
that.
like if your husband has a club, technically that's still your club.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Now, granted, like for a while there, my daughter and her husband were in my basement. And they had a different last name, same address, different last name, different credit card, and they're a different family. That is good. But yeah, same roof, same last name kind of thing, or husband and his wife and stuff like that. Like if you're married, then that's kind of, it's all the compliance stuff that already exists in there now.
Okay.
So question, so we have to link it ourselves, or does it automatically link when a customer joins the club? So no, if a customer goes out there and like joins via that link, then it will automatically link to you. Or if there's, let's say it's you and you signed up Mary, and Mary goes out and talks her dad into it and her brother into it. So those, if they share via the link, are automatically linked to them. And therefore they're going to be 15%. But yes, all that PRV comes in through you. All that's linked. The linking of accounts that I was talking about is, as a consultant, we have asked that all consultants that have a club go out there and link your account. And what that does is that stops points from coming in, and it tailors it to you so that you don't have those points automatically earning, and therefore it removes all the tax implications and all that stuff. Because by adding points in here, we kind of changed the maze a little bit. And so then we gave you an easy way to link your account. Now, new people, when they come in, if they go to the join as a consultant and they go through and they're like, yeah, sign me up, baby. Woo! Do you have a club? Yes. And they type in their club and their password, then it automatically links to them. And you don't have to call CS or anything. It just automatically links them. I've asked that to be done and been told that can't happen. So Donna, I think what you're saying is that you asked for them to consolidate more than one clubs underneath you, and they said it can't happen. Is that true? Okay, they are wrong. If you send me just an email, let me give you my email here. m@scentsy.com. If you send an email of that with your name, then I'll just forward it down to CS. But yeah, you can do that. Now they're getting used to this because before they couldn't do that. And now because we did 2.0, so every once in a while, like there's, a couple hundred, 500 CS folks, and yeah, more and more of them are figuring it out. Oh, they can do that. But yeah, definitely that can happen. And it's nice because you won't lose any of your always get my bars. Now, I will say that you have to prove that it's yours. So like, you can't just say, oh, I have these other clubs and my name's Michael Borg and it's Stitch. Yeah, that's not going to work because they're like, oh, whoa. Is this yours? It's not your address. Oh, see?
Time's up.
That means I gotta go. But you guys are awesome. But if you have any other questions, if you ever need anything, email me. You're amazing. Keep being nice to one another. That is my deal. Like if you are kind to one another, oh, I love you to death, right? So keep going. Any last questions? Okay. You're
I
amazing.
appreciate you coming back and talking to us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, anytime. All right.
Have a
We'll
good
see you
night.
guys.
Thank you.
You bet. Bye.